viewers, in last video you have seen about the introduction of database management system and relational database management system. Now you are going to see about the overview of database management. Now let me see what is database system, what is database, why needs of database, and what is relational system. What do you mean by data independence? First, let me see what is database system. It is nothing, it is a record keeping system. Previously, the record has maintained by file or a paper based method. But it has some difficult and drawback for maintaining the records and files. So that by that the data has stored in the database system, and the user can easily access the data, retrieve the data, and update the data on user demands. So it is very easy to access. For that, 4 components has play an important role for accessing the database. That is data, hardware, software, and then user. Just see this diagrammatic view of database system. Just let's assume it is a container and it has maintained all the data. That is a database. Okay. Then the application programs and users can easily access the data into the database. Let me assume this is the software DBMS, Database Management System. The database management software is used to access all the data and all the informations and allow the user to access the data in the database system. Okay, next let me see how these 4 components act in the database system. First, let me see data. Actually, a single user can access the data in the database, and at the same time the multiple user can access through the multiple system at the same time, because it has 2 aspects. One is integrated and another one is shared. Integrated means a file has some unifications. By that, we could not give the same information at many times. That is integrated. And then shared means the many users can access the data at the same time. That is shared. Here I have shown on a diagram for the example of shared. At the same time, the application, maybe many application can access the data in the database and share the data into these applications or many more applications. The multiple user also can access the data at multiple times. Okay, next let me see hardware and software. Already I said that without hardware and software we cannot do anything in computer. The same thing, the DBMS system also, like without hardware and software we cannot do anything. Here the hardware is used for keeping and accessing the data in the database system, and it has 2 components. That is the hardware component, that is secondary storage, like magnetic disk is used to maintain and store the data in the database, and another one is a hardware processor and main memory. It is used to support the execution for the database. That means it is used for running the data into the database. These 2 components or these 2 hardware components is used for accessing the data and maintaining the data. And then software. We know that software is an instruction. Here also it is used to create, edit, maintain the database files and records, and also give the instruction to handle the data and store the data and from the backup, reporting, multi-access controls, and provide the security also. Okay, and at the same time the multiple user access the data through the software, and a single user can access the data through this software. Next, let me see the user. Actually, there are three users act an important role in the database, that is application programmer, end users, and then database administrator. Application programmer means you may know that those who are creating that application through, they are application programmers. Then next, end user means those who are accessing the database through online application, through online is called as end user. And then database administrator job is to create the database and control the database in centralized manners. This is the database management system, and just go through it. Okay, this is the database system. Just you are clear what is database system, what are the four components, how it access in the database, and what are the end users. These are the concept you may clear now. Now let me see. Next, let me see the next topic, database. Database is a collection of persistent data. That means the enterprises has maintained some data. That data is called a persistent data. Enterprises means it may be a manufacturing company, bank, university, or hospitals. They maintain some data. That data is called persistent data. And data can be classified as an entities and relationship. Here the ER diagram represents the entities and relationship. Entity is nothing, maybe a component or objects or persons in the database. Okay, and then relationship means it will it has some relations between the two or more entities, and it has represented as a diamond view. Here the student and colleges or the entities studies the relationship because it is very common for student and college data. And every entity has an property. That property we can say an attributes. Here the student have staff and mark attributes and so on. So you may clear now the what is the database and how it can be represented in the ER diagram, right? Next, let me see why need of database. Actually, previously the data or file can be maintained in paper-based manner. You clearly know about that. But it has some difficult and to maintain that data because it may be collapsed or may be missed. So we could not get the information on time. So that the user slightly move to that database system. Okay, so that database is needed. By that database system, it produces compactness, speed, less drudgery, currency, and that production. Compactness means we should not wait for the data and we could not wait for the information. We can easily get the information through the database. And we can easily store the data and retrieve the data in fast manner. We could not wait for the users. That means manually it will store the data through even online. So and the database system produces security and lot of advantages. Database administrator is also used for accessing the data. And the two advantages is there. One is the data administrator and the database administrator. Data administrator is used what data should be stored in the first, and then database administrator is control the system in centralized manner and create the actual data. So by that, by this advantage, the database is needed in that database system. Next, let me see the data independence. Data independence is nothing. It is one of the characteristic in DBMS. Actually, it is able to modify one application without affecting the another higher application. It's called data independence. We will see in detailed manner in the next video. Just I will give one animated video. You clear about this concept. Okay. If you like this video, just share this video and like this video. If you want next video, just subscribe it and press that bell button if you need a notification for another videos. Press the bell button and click OK. Thank you.